What's going on, everyone? It's Nina Infinity. Welcome to my channel for another segment of Infinite Cringe. And today we're going to be talking about weirdos. There's a lot of weirdos on the internet. But first, a little mini update on everything that went on with Helldivers. As some of you may have heard, I'm sure you've heard by now that PlayStation ended up backpedaling on the PSN mandatory sign up. It's a big win for gamers. It's a big win for all of us that have been doing content about this. I like when stuff like that happens because I like it when fans make things happen. It's pretty awesome to see. For example, when there was a big backlash about Sonic the Hedgehog, as you can see, the studios did something about it and it ended up making the movie a lot better and the character much better. And people responded to that positively. It's the same thing that happened with the Zack Snyder movement. Even though I wasn't a huge fan of the Snyder stuff, I'm not a huge Snyder fan, but I was a fan of the fact that the fans got what they wanted and asked for. So I'm a big advocate of fan voices. And so therefore, this was happy news for me. It wasn't happy news for everybody. And mainly the people that weren't happy about it were game journalists. They were not very happy. Namely, this woman called Alyssa Mercante. Now, just to give you a brief lowdown, I have never had an interaction with this woman on Twitter. However, she has me blocked. And I find that really interesting because like I said, I've never had any interactions with her, but I think she knows that I hang out with people like Grummz and Sevi and certain other people. So I think that through guilt by association, I was blocked and I can't actually view a lot of her tweets, so I have to rely on a lot of screenshots. But she is one of the people that was very unhappy about the Helldivers fans getting what they wanted, and she had stuff like this to say about that. Also, just FYI, this woman works for Kotaku. I believe she is the main editor of Kotaku, and so it's very interesting some of the stuff that she says. I really don't love the recent collection of events in this industry that are emboldening its worst behaved actors. If companies were actually considering talking about the hate movement bubbling right now, it would be a lot harder for them to co-opt everything. Don't love to see the Arrowhead CEO replying to the same woman who thinks the United Nations is making your games woke and is making Pepe Silva boards. Now, just a heads up, the same woman she's referring to here is Savvy. I've talked about her before. You guys should go follow her on Twitter because she gets into a lot of spicy stuff, as you can see. So then boards about it. If more people were full-throated talking about these chuds, maybe that would not happen. If you loudly defend your CMs, community managers, Asylum Barbie would, quote, know where you stand and would probably not be politely pinging you. Now, regarding the community managers, there's a lot of drama going on with Grummz and some Helldivers community managers. But long story short, Grummz has been basically really hated on the Helldivers Discord, and a lot of community managers were very unhappy with him. So yes, some sexual assault allegations was being thrown around by the community managers, which is freaking crazy. Here's Grummz writing update: Helldivers mods who falsely accused me of sexual assault forced to delete his post and get demoted from senior to regular mod. Here is Savvy actually clarifying what she was talking about with regards to this post that Alyssa made saying the CEO thing. And she says, for the record, she has an issue with the CEO saying thank you to me for the civil questions. If you'd recall, her own questions towards a different CEO were met with the said CEO saying she misrepresented him this weekend. I'm not sure what full throat means. I don't either. I was like, what does that mean? And honestly, I don't know what chuds are, but if you're a writer with such a limited vocabulary where all you can do is hurl insults, I'm really not concerned about your opinion. Good for you, Savvy. Good for you. You are calling for harassment for me, all because I ask questions. Why would full-throated talking about these chuds stop someone from speaking to me? Doesn't sound very inclusive. And then she's added this is the CEO of Helldivers talking to her. This is the response that she was talking about. Now, this other woman, Alyssa, as you can tell, she is not very happy about the win that gamers have. She just doesn't seem like a very happy person in general. She just seems like a miserable human being. And it's probably part of the reason that she has a job at a place called Kotaku. Smash JT has been making some content about Alyssa. This video here that says, I want to end Kotaku, where he explains how he's made a petition to shut down Kotaku. And I think it's a really funny thing to do. This entertains me more than anything because I feel like Kotaku's on its way out already, like websites like Vice have been on the way out, but he's trying to like jumpstart this end to Kotaku by this petition, which I mean, honestly, he has every right to do. He's saying that they're not doing a great job covering gaming news and they're just basically a bunch of activists that are politically involved and trying to get more people politically involved. And he calls her out for really shitty interview tactics, like trapping one of the CEOs. For example, here is a tweet from her talking about that said interview with CEO of Farm Folks. So this guy's like, when they're not writing articles about bear sex or using sex toys on zombies, they're busy bullying devs into hiring activists and threatening them with bad press if they don't listen. It's time to hashtag end Kotaku. And here is her saying, I said this to him during our interview, but the Farm Folks CEO attempts to not be political are very naive in the current climate. His replies are very telling. You know what's very telling? Your MO, that you are activist first and journalist second. Like, this is such a 2024 journalist. She goes on to say, you got pulled into a culture war because you don't have a CM. Who knew that titty physics wasn't the move, chief? Then you apologize, which is the reason everybody says don't ever apologize to these weirdos. Then the titty physics gooners got mad that you apologized and then I interviewed you. Them's the breaks. Who talks like this? This is what Savvy was talking about, how like she uses these weird words like titty physic gooners. Like, who talks like this? Are you 14? So anyways, this guy, Bash JT, has made this woman very upset, extremely upset. So then JT comes out with this tweet saying, at Kotaku, one of your writers, Alyssa, are currently harassing me and now is DMing my wife on Facebook. This is completely unacceptable behavior and way out of bounds. Reprehensible. Do you stand by this type of behavior? And screenshotted this tweet where Alyssa wrote this saying, anyway, I found your wife's Facebook and asked what she thinks about the husband of her children harassing women online and laughing when they share that someone they're supporting has been threatening to kill them for weeks. Now, first of all, again, going back to the sentence structure, like what, the husband of her children? What? You mean the father of her children? Okay, besides the point. But according to her, JT is supporting someone that has been threatening to kill them for weeks. So now what she's talking about is apparently this other YouTuber by the name of Taking America Virtual. So I guess this is what she's freaking out about. And honestly, a little bit rightly so, because she's talking about this guy who's doing this weird, cringe virtual video game where it says virtual reality execution. Hi, Alyssa Kotaku. This is cringe. This is cringe. I don't agree with this at all. Having said that, I don't agree with this at all. I will tell you this. If this guy made Kotaku some sort of virtual reality video game where Alyssa can go play and shoot up at Grummz and Savvy or anyone she doesn't like, I'm sure she'd be all about it. Okay. Like, this is the kind of person that she is. She just drives hate. And so I just think that that's the kind of reaction she would be having if it was about them. She'd be all like, yeah, go get them. But if it's about her, obviously it's a problem. And it is a problem. I believe this is a problem. I don't think this is one of those instances where you should fight fire with fire. You have to show that you are a capable human being, capable of making arguments based on people's arguments and their words, not this kind of cringe shit, because this is what makes them win. This is what makes their argument stronger, that we're a bunch of toxic video gamers that want to just, go on a rampage after we play Grand Theft Auto and like blah, blah, blah. That we're all like just some weirdos out there. This is uncool, man. Uncool. I don't know. This is not helping anything. I don't think this is helping anything. I mean, somebody's going to take the high road at some point, or else where the fuck are we going to end up? Just a fucking ditch? It's just ridiculous to me. I don't think two wrongs make a right, is what I'm trying to tell you. Now, having said that, here we go with Alyssa coming back with replies. So, and just to give you more context, she says this is a response to Smash JT saying, never thought I'd get so much pleasure over Alyssa Merck spurging out about, but here we are, hashtag and Kotaku. This guy's like, wonder how long before she blocks you and locks down her profile again. I say by day's end, then one or the other will happen. Smash JT comes in with, now she slid into my DMs like a bitch. I'm married, GTFO here, laughing faces. And then Alyssa comes back with, so you think it's funny that you platformed a man threatening to kill me? That's that last guy that we're talking about. And then coming back with, anyway, I found your wife's Facebook. And that's when she wrote that. So there's the context of this. So this also has to do with the fact that she feels like she's being attacked and she thinks it's okay to play that dirty ass game because that's who she is. That's her essence. Her essence is that she wants to prove that we're toxic and she's one of the most toxic people. So of course she's going to use that toxicity to her advantage. Here is another guy chiming in. So then Alyssa responds and says to Smash JT, she apparently retweets him saying, I don't know, I would love if my husband was doing this about, I don't know what she's referring to about like the wife's Facebook thing or whatever. And then this guy, Paul Scott Canvan, chimes in saying, this is absolutely the play. We should be doing this with all these weird creeps. Track down their significant others and mothers and string them up. What an absolute weird and psychotic thing to say. Do you think this is a win, bro, to like threaten women and to like threaten to string them up? This is what I'm talking about. The playing dirty, you're only going to get muddy, man. You're only going to get muddy when you play around in the dirt with disgusting people like this. By the way, this guy, since he tweeted that, because he got called out on it by a few of us, he's gone protected. And also, he's the creative director of Grimoire, Making Pale Tides, some sort of RPG game. He's like the creative director for it. Nice job talking about your game and putting your game out there for everyone to know with your really weird, shitty takes on what you would do to women you don't agree with and people you don't agree with. Like you're going to stalk their families. Good job. I'm never going to play your shitty game. I don't even know if it's shitty or not, but now that I found out about you, what you just put out there, I'm like, I'm not going to support your game ever. What an absolute weird thing to say. It's very psychotic. Again, it doesn't work. You guys it doesn't work when you get dirty and do weird shit with these people because that's what they want. They want you to say weird shit so that they can get on you about how toxic you are and prove their point. Don't play that game, guys. Don't play that game. Don't be weird. Don't harass people. Don't harass their families. You don't want to do this. You don't want to go down the path that they go. Let them fall on their own. They usually eat their own. They usually fall on their own. They usually eat themselves because they're weird and they're fucking crazy. And here, that was a perfect example of that. So what do you think of all of this, guys? I know there's a lot of drama involved. So let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are. Do you think people do need to get down and dirty? Get down, get down. No. Getting down and dirty is fun. Like, meaning like when you're down, you know what I mean? Do you think this is the correct method to act online? What do you guys think? What is the solution? And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like and share the video and comment. Let me know what you think of everything. Bye.